Greetings, Baron. I am sorry to take you away from your other affairs, but your people need you. When the stolen lands were free from the Staglog, the people sighed in relief, but many are still confused by their swift change of fortune. Truth be told, they simply do not know what to think of the new Baron, nor what to expect of you. Will you be a fair ruler for all, or only those with wealth and status? Let us reassure your people, show them where your favour truly rests. Perhaps a small celebration would help to win them over. Of course you could spend the same amount on a luxurious dinner, for the welfare of your Baron, but I recommend organising a fair for the common people, the ones upon whose shoulders your power truly resides. We should hold the fair, I guess. I really don't know. We'll hold a common celebration where everyone will be welcome, including the poor and downtrodden. It's the greatest gift a ruler can give to people. I don't know. You know? I don't know. Harrim looks embarrassed. He runs his fingers through his beard and clears his throat a few times, then speaks at last. I heard, not that it's important, but well, I heard that an ancient trade road built by the dwarves of the Five King Mountains runs through these lands. I don't know what happened to them or where they went. Unforgiven time spares no one, but the road itself is still there, and possibly not only the road. Well, Tom, I have a request. If you find any dwarven ruins in the area, I'd like to see them with my own eyes. Why'd you ask? I shouldn't, probably, but it's like a wound that never healed. You know it will only hurt more, but you still need to scratch it. Of course it's foolish in pain, but still I wish to look at them. Alright then, okay. Thank you. Okay. Oh, geez, everybody's coming to see me now, eh? Your Grace, I was at Oleg's trading post recently, and I noticed old Boken just standing there, bored to death with nothing to do. This is most unfortunate. After all, the old grumbler is a very knowledgeable alchemist. However, he has no use for his skills, since the locals need nothing more than the simplest of healing potions. And then it struck me, why don't you hire him as your court alchemist? His decoctions and tinctures would certainly prove more useful to you. Also, it might be cheaper than simply buying from him or some other merchant. That is also true. Okay, access the Baron. The man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled and his beard is as white as mountain snow. The man seems to be completely blind. The old man stares past you with unseeing eyes. He seems to be consumed in his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, swaying back and forth slightly to his rhythm. The man shudders briefly and stops singing. His mouth opens and closes a few times, bringing to mind a fish brought ashore. Ah, who is there? Is that you, Your Grace? You are? I am an elf from Harrim. My name is not important. I am the Storyteller, collector of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times. The man smiles, but it doesn't seem to be directed towards you. Long ago, I was a smith in Glorian. The fire of the forge had burned out my eyes, but I am grateful for it. If I could see, I would yet forge suits of armour for Elijah's guards. Instead, I have stepped on the path of an adventurer and gatherer of ancient legends. The old man ponders silently for a moment. Many people are long dead, their homes crumbled to dust, and their bodies turned to ash. Only legends can still tell us of their triumphs and defeats, their joys and fears. I would be so interested to hear the stories told about us after our demise. I have always been drawn to the stolen lands where countless expeditions, armies, and even kingdoms have met their untimely ends. When I learned of a new barony being founded in the heart of these lands, I knew I wanted to be part of this story, so I made the journey here. Are you really an elf? Do other elves age like you have? A common question. Despite my unusual looks, I am an elf, and an old one, yes, perhaps older than any other elf in Caitlin. However, I doubt my age alone is responsible for my appearance. I get the stories of many people and races, some forever gone from the face of Glorian, but they live on in my memory and my heart. When I accept a new story, I lock it within myself, bearing the weight of its words and the emotions they invoke. I sometimes think that I probably should have died long ago, but some incomprehensible force is keeping me alive and granting me the ability to continue my quest to gather stories. Be it divine power or fell curse, I am grateful either way. It is not so hard to recognize a ruler by the way he walks. No one in here steps as confidently as you. Alright, would you care to trade stories with me? Fever souls like autumn leaves. I am a collector, not a trader. If I share a story with you, you receive the power to pass it further, changing or embellishing it. But whatever, willingly or not, can I be certain you will keep my stories intact in their absolute purity? The storyteller ponders for several moments. No, I don't think so. At least not yet. These legends are the most precious valuables of this world, the last remnants of ancient tribes. They are become beacons illuminating the way to the past, allowing us to meet generations long gone. I cannot let their light fade. The path to this past must not be lost. He thinks for a moment. But I can offer you a deal. If on your journeys you discover items that come from either's past, bring them to me. And if my eyes can see the stories that these relics hold, I will gladly share them with you. And if you find all the pieces of ancient artifacts, I can even recall my smithing skills to unite them. So what do you want from me? In your travels, pay special attention for ancient eras. I need a wise advisor to my court. Would you like to serve me in matters of the state? Thank you for your words. I am unlikely to be able to interpret the intricacies of the political world or the affairs of the treasury, but my advice regarding the magic of arts would be useful to any ruler. I found the shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore them for me? May I? You have gathered all the fragments of the necklace of double crosses. They can fit into my hand. They carry an inglorious story. Allow me to tell you the tale as I restore it. I expect the story will amuse you, and perhaps even give you some food for thought. So what is your answer? Restore the necklace. I shall begin. Not every legend speaks of heroic feats. Some tell of atrocities and wicked things. I will breathe my gift into this necklace, and it may tell you something of itself. I was waiting for a story. I think I did get one now. Okay, I brought some relics. Are any worthy of a story? How interesting. He gently touches the items from your pack. A coin from a non-existent country. When Coral the Conqueror mastered Rosland, having claimed it for Brevoy, he prohibited the issuance of such use of coins. Both ordinary folk and the Adori sword lords were required to use new coins decorated with Coral's profile, but no one was quick to be rid of their prohibited coins. Oh no. In many houses they still store boxes and whole chests of such coin, waiting for the day when Rosland declares its independence. I trade the coin and so it's like trading. Okay. And what is this? I hear the voices of trees, smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad mark, is it not? I would be happy to purchase it from you. Okay, what was the name of the Glorian ruler who issued this coin? Does anyone remember now? What did the Cyclopses use it to purchase? Food, books, weapons, perhaps someone's life, or their freedom? Who can say? Its history was erased by the Earthfall. I will buy it from you for significant more than what it is worth on its own. Yes. Soldier's tag. A soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed. He or she goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to others to decide, whatever the case was just. This tag belonged to one of many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Taldan Empire. If you would permit me, I would gladly purchase it from you. The belongings of brave heroes who performed their feats here before you. I sense you would be interested to hear their story. These lands took many lives and spawned many legends. I can now tell you of a distant expedition undertaken by a group of Brevic heroes to a place known as the Drowned Trees. Yes, tell me about the Drowned Trees. I hear roll clocks creaking, river walking, water splashing, bushes rustling, and arrows singing through the air. I feel an invisible will, a cold resolution to the finish what's been started, no matter the cost. My chain armour clings to my body, and my young hands grip my swords tightly. I am the leader of a group of brave souls set off to the stolen lands to clear them from bandits once and for all. We sail on a large freight boat. It serves as bait for the bandits who keep throwing themselves at it, only to find death, a death as inglorious as the life they lived. From time to time we manage to capture a prisoner. While our inquisitor talks to them, I go to the stern, shouting my ears to their cries. I remind myself that these are scum, drenched in blood to the elbow. I think upon our cause, freedom for my homeland, and independent Roslyn. But still my goosebumps rise with each pitiful cry. I must steel myself and be strong. Who's in your group? Paladin, Ranger, Sorcerer, Priest, Inquisitor, and me, a Fighter. All experienced combatants over and over. We've saved each other's lives and Mary's. Why do you question the prisoners? The bandits attacking our small fry were looking for the main lair, a place known as the Drowned Trees. We seek the leader of the bandits, an underwater monster named Dungut Durden, and we will not leave without his head. Have there always been bandits? These lands swarm with them, and we met them more often than common merchants. You see, we started a rumour that the Aldori sword lords are using this boat to sneak treasure out of the country. Now half the gangs in the area are hunting us. At night it seems the whole army is attacking our boat. Far too many for us to fend off. But luckily we don't have to. While they battle monsters we've summoned in a pitch black magical darkness. We drink the potions we've prepared and dive under the water. The scum break into the hold, but instead of treasure, they find their final surprise. The work of a Restoffic alchemist, a trap. A dozen barrels of highly explosive oils. We watch from a safe distance as the boat is blown to pieces in a deafening explosion. Everything has gone according to plan. The more who die here, the fewer will meet the Drowned Trees. We march through the forest to camp to regain our strength. Their nest is close. Our Inquisitor discovered everything, even the location of their secret entrance. The day we rest, tomorrow, the Bandit King will draw his final breath. Even if you sneak into the bandit camp unseen, how will you handle all of them? Each of us is worth 24 in battle, but besides, we are all well prepared. Chaos, confusion, and summoned monsters will be on our side. and fire. Lots of fire. What kind of secret? An underwater path winding along the swamp bottom. We had potions to breathe freely underwater. We couldn't see beyond our outstretched arms in the muddy water, and there were plenty of traps along the way. But the Inquisitor learned all the signs that marked the safe passage. At least, we believe she did. We trudged through muddy waters. Suddenly a giant log studded with blades falls from above. I managed to stagger back, but the paladin who walked along me is now a gory sight, spread thin across the ground. The next moment a monstrous creature emerges from the darkness, a twisted cross between fish and monkey. Its claw's hand reaches out, effortlessly melting away the Inquisitor's flesh, then ripping out her heart. This is the king of the bandits, Durgut. The bandit we captured did not lie, but the secret passage he spoke of led right into the underwater lair of its master. I bury my terror deep in my soul. There was no time for weakness. There were only 4 of us left, and we are gasping for air by the time this freak's lifeblood stains the water. We leave the beheaded body on dry land, then retreat and recover. Only now I allow my hands to tremble, my breath to race unabiding, my tears to flow. What kind of monster? They say he was once a normal human, but he offended a powerful fae. She cursed him, turning him into a monster, but one bestowed with the ability to breathe underwater and melt human flesh with his touch. With these powers, he became the Bandit King. Do you find anything useful? Oh yes, the Bandit King was a true collector of magical items. We lost 2 of our friends, but what we found there would help us finish what we started. Though the Paladin died, so who else died then? The bandit wanted to set up what? But he played right into your hands. You could say so. Dargut didn't expect an armed party to appear there before him, but we were too unprepared for the encounter. The bandits' lie cost both sides clearly. The next night we returned the same way. We swim to the surface and quietly gather our belongings. Above us loomed round trees, enormous dead trunks emerging from the water, bridges crisscrossing the branches. The air is filled with the sounds of battle. Having lost their king, the bandits now battle each other for power, and we are ready to join the fight. We leave at dawn. Behind us, smoke rises up to the sky. The bandits' nest smoulders and blazes. Only 2 of us remain, the priest and I. We've won, but the victory tastes of ash. Cinders and swamp ooze, I ask. Tell me, ThomFnG, was it worth it? He puts his hand on my shoulder and says, yes, Jomandi, now the stolen land will be ours. I wish I believed him. Oh, so this is the Dory's. Ah. The storyteller heaves a sigh, runs his hand over his face and rubs his temple. Thus, the expedition to the drowned trees came to an end. I must admit, it was not easy feeling for me to stand in the place of this daring woman. The steel of her soul was colder than ice. Wait, is this the story of Jomandi Arduri? That she still lives? Some people become legends in their own lifetime. Jomandi has performed many glorious feats, and there may yet be more ahead. But why must we do it all over again? The death of Dargut and destruction of the drowned trees weakened the bandits, but not for long. The paladin who died was a noble. It was he who was supposed to claim the stolen lands and send in his troops. Well, Jomandi sought another candidate, or a priest capable of performing a resurrecting ritual. A new bandit leader emerged in the destroyed fortress of the banks of the Tuskwater. Within the year, the stolen lands were swarming with gangs once more. Again, this gift hath lost my eyes. When I touch relics, I can see the thoughts and emotions of those who've previously owned them. If the emotions are strong enough, I can even see the events that left those impressions. I would imagine.
I greet you, my savior. You who defeated those who nearly brought my ruin. I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands. I am their living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power?
Touch this power? Well.
I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed. A shadow under its green crown I call my verdant chambers. Visit me there, my lord, and come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you.
I will ask you something.
Forgive me, nymphs are not made for cities. The noise and vanity of human settlements vex me. I will answer all your questions, but there, in the silence of my asylum.
And what happens if I say I don't need any rewards? Seeing you is the best reward for me.
Then come to my chamber and be my guest. We'll share stories and laughter, imagine the future, and dream. So long, I will await you there, as the ground waits for spring under the heavy winter's snow.
Heavy winter snow. Okay. Just reward. You see a dark-skinned, weary man with a weather-beaten face and a happy smile on his face. He is dressed luxuriously, and his dark hair and neat muscles are exquisitely coiffured. Hassuf from Absalom is happy to welcome you, Your Grace. Come, take a look. Tell me about yourself. My pleasure. Blah, 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 blah. Hassuf's family was not rich, as he, as many in Absalom, had to start from the very bottom. As a child, while his peers chased pigeons and stole apples at the market, he worked at the tannery. Oh, I can still smell this disgusting stench. Yeah, no doubt. Well, the young apprentice worked hard, saved every coin, and soon managed to purchase that tannery from his former master. Then, as soon as he had enough money, he opened his own trading agency. After 10 years, countless deals, and many tours in his caravan, Hassuf was one of the most successful merchants in Absalom, is writing his name indelibly in the history of the great city. Well, how was that? I'm looking for a writer so I can dictate my own memoirs. I think many would find it interesting and useful. What's your secret? There is no secret. Perseverance, strength of character, attention of detail, a gift of persuasion, charm. All this, among many other things, are key to success in my profession. But I did have a secret. But if I did have a secret, why would I share it with anyone? Well, why did you leave the centre of global trade to come here? A long story, I still think. Okay. Come on now, tell me. Very well, as you wish. It was about a woman. When I was still young, I fell in love with the daughter of a judge, an important person in Absalom. For many years, I tried to win her heart, but she was cold as stone. I should have given up. But this is not my character. In the end, I did manage to win her love, but I was unready for it. As Adabar and my witness, the flames of hell burnt inside the woman. I could not live with her for even 6 months. Tenderness and passion one day, screaming and scandal the next. Something else would break into my office doing business meetings to make a jealous scene, and sometimes pull me by the collar for the finest taverns in town. I couldn't sleep, I was nervous all the time, and it started to affect my business. I realised there was nothing else to do but run. Leaving her and remaining in the city would be impossible, even in such a city as Absalom. Okay. I decided never to return, and still fear the wild cat of a woman will follow my trail. Although sometimes after a couple of jars of wine, I still remember her. Perhaps was I who unleashed the tornado in her. If someone, I'd behave differently. Okay, can I sell anything? Tiefling girl looks as though she's made of spring. She cannot stand still for a moment. She nods her head, snaps her fingers, and taps her feet in an inner whirling song. Seeing you, she quickly waves her hand and breaks into a wide smile and immediately starts jabbering. Your Grace, welcome. What you want, eh? What you want? My suppliers. I'll bring some more scrolls for sale. If you manage to attract more wages in your lands, more wages, more demand, more goods. Yeah, sure, why not? Zarcie the Little Gobbler at your service. Best spells, charms, jinxes and hexes for the best barn across all the river kingdoms. Buy it all and don't be stingy. Alright. It's a family business. I've got siblings across all of Mindiv. They pinch every. I mean, they're very creative suppliers and they're sell it all. Yeah, why not, man? I couldn't care where you got it for. As long as you get it to me, I don't care. Okay. Greetings, I'm Verdel, a blacksmith. What can I help you with? What is there to tell you? I'm a blacksmith. My father was a blacksmith, grandfather, yep. Every one of them were remarkably fertile, so I have plenty of cousins, second cousins, or yep. Pretty much all the weapons in my boy were forged by someone from our family. That's why I moved away from the old home grounds. My skills are more useful here, that's for sure. You expect to see a beard, no offence, but what's the point of a beard, especially when you're a blacksmith and working with fire? Got a point. You burn it once, dip it into lightning oil and catch a spark from the forge and your beard is history. You're better off without it. Right, out with old traditions. Practically is my middle name, right? What are you reading? Well, different things. It's nice to take a rest with a good book just now. It's Valor and Honour. 10 Adventures of the Splendid William Gutherson. Okay. Greetings, noble ruler of these lands. My name is Arsinoe. I'm a messenger from the temple of Abadar in Absalom, and I came here assuming the citizens of your young barony could use the services of a priest. I could just help with a cleric. That is precisely why I'm here. Oh, cool. Alright. I can sell you various divine spell scrolls. They're quite useful even if you don't have anyone in your party who can read them. While you're in the settlement or indeed any place with a cleric willing to help, you need only open your bag and choose the scroll you wish to cast. I'll be happy to read it for you. However, take care out there in the wilderness. A scroll is useless without someone who can read it. To use a scroll on your journeys, you'll need a spellcaster whose magical training covers such spells, or someone skilled in magical devices. Is the god of cities, law, merchants and wealth. The core of its teaching is simple. Law and order allows civilization to develop, which allows people to live in peace and prosperity. If Aristotle favours old customs, small settlements, and simple trades like hunting, then Adabar patronises development, complex trades, order, and entrepreneurship. I get there in the end, folks. I get there in the end. My mind would be slow, but I get there. Each priest of This place finds someone personal in serving him. Some believe that law is the main aspect of their faith, and they guard it zealously. Others put the well-being of their society above all. I personally follow Adabar's teaching that says civilization must penetrate the wildest savage lands and help people live in comfort and safety. Asimar. I suppose it's easy to tell, isn't it? Yes, though I'm not sure how or when the blood of Celestials appeared in my family. Among all my relatives and known ancestors, I'm the only one who inherited it. I must admit, I am glad this lot fell to me. It draws more attention to me, a useful trait for a priest who wishes to gather a congregation. Long story, and not a terribly exciting one. I was born and raised in Absalom, but I saw little point in staying there. What's the purpose in promoting the faith of Adabar in a city already so large and well developed? No, I was drawn to backwater places where civilization was just beginning to emerge. It gives me such joy to see the first stones of new settlement being laid, or to see a wilderness that once harboured monsters and criminals become a safe, cosy home for people. I've devoted my life to my travels, choosing to visit places like your barony. Allow me to say it's a place after my own heart. A city growing over the remains of a bandit lord's lair is exactly the sort of triumph and civilization Adabar describes. I hope my skills as a priest will be of service to these lands and their denizens. Why do you charge your service? If you want to help your citizens. The rules of trade and exchange developed for a reason. They help bring order to our world, and they mustn't be broken without need. The opportunity to get what one desires for no effort has a corrupting effect on the souls. Okey-dokey.